season allotted to the future. Yeah, I think it's just like by the same people. I could be wrong. All right, score. Yes! 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 Let's go!
Just yeah. So you think November? I think next year.
I just as long as it's within this year. I fucking love this guy, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah. Alright, alright.
Let's go. Let's go.
Who are we? What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us.
Oh, this is looking so much better.
Immaculate aspect might reveal itself.
Yeah.
The icon.
There's going to be another war, isn't there?
Oh.
Every day we delay
Finally, we got UI.
closer to disaster.
Oh, nice, nice.
We must move now.
Loving the gameplay so far.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping for like less UI.
Oh, like Devil May Cry, only like the health bars and maybe like meter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Knight, the dominants.
But I think they're trying to follow some of the old ways.
Found a new
Okay, that's
order
fine.
to
Yeah, so like maintain like the spells and whatnot. You know?
Okay. I don't think this is gonna be open world.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
this is gonna be open. I think it's definitely gonna be
I
like
hope
DMC.
not.
I hope,
I
yeah.
hope it's not open world.
Because it's gonna be like a disaster if it's an open world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think they can pull. I think like if there's anyone out there that can pull it off, I think it's Yoshida. But
Yeah.
it's better if you just focus on the gameplay. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Uh huh. The UI, I think that'll grow on me, but for now, it's okay.
Yeah. The bars kind of look very basic.
I think like it's too intruding right now. It needs to be a
Yeah.
little more minimal.
It is true.
Yeah. It could be.
For every citizen,
Yeah.
No, I just think it needs to be more stylish.
can be bred.
It could be too, yeah. Maybe you can change the color to like just gray.
Yeah. And then like make it like black for like recovering or something. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so those are okay. Or those are all the summons. Okay, let's see.
Come on. You're ahead of me. Just letting you know. Ah, fuck. No release date.
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken,
Come on.
if free.
I was right.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, but don't worry. You have until summer 2023.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's all good though.
Ah.
Okay, that was short, but okay. You got what you wanted. I got what I want.
That's honestly like 2023 was like the most likely release date, but there was just a lot of like
Yeah.
a
Right.
lot of
I
clues
just
for
yeah.
2022.
I just didn't think it would come out this year, and then let alone they're trying to get. There's like some remanagement it seems to be going on with Square, so I was think so I'm like, okay, I think this thing will come out 2023. In terms of the UI, because while I don't think the UI is really bad, I just think that they need to it's just I think the style it needs to be more stylized.
Yeah, I think definitely having like the green and red is kind of distracting. I think they should either minimize it by like we said earlier, changing the colors to something a little bit more that blends in with the environment, like maybe like gray or something like that, or I would say maybe even like make it almost like transparent. I would say because that's I don't know, it's very contrasting with what we're seeing, like right. I don't know. I feel like enemy health bars. I guess those were bosses, so that's fine. But I feel like enemy health bars shouldn't normally show in most fights. That's like that because I don't know. It makes it look like it's almost a fighting game, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the UI could be a little bit more minimal than what it is now.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they should have. It would be also great if they also have an option to disable parts of the UI. because then
Yeah.
that would also resolve your problem. I feel.
Yeah.
Um,
That's honestly all
or-
I need. Just a way to
yeah.
disable it. Oh shit! They have a stagger. They have a stagger meter. I just noticed that.
Okay, so so that's good. So they're still keeping some of the FF, the traditional Final Fantasy stuff there.
I wouldn't call stagger traditional. That's more so
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't call it
yeah,
traditional. I meant to say more like from remake.
yeah. But which is kind of weird considering that like the whole remake stuff was made by the FF13 team. The FF7 remake was basically like FF7 remake is basically like a spiritual successor to FF13 in terms of gameplay. So I can see why they
Right.
would have like the stagger system here.
Yeah.
But them having a stagger system in this game, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think it could definitely work. I am someone who's kind of advocating it, but seeing it now, it's like
So because gotcha. It's mainly because the fact that it seems to be a lot more action focused than how I say it. It's not like
the remake.
FF7 where you still have time to think.
Yeah,
Is that what you're? Yeah.
yeah, because with FF7 remake, it's more so like it's still action, but it's more so heavily towards the RPG aspect of it. This one seems more heavy towards the action. Yeah, kind of like Kingdom Hearts and whatnot.
Since this is by the guy that made DMC Combat.
Yeah, so you don't really need a stagger system. I think part of me thinks that they're probably just putting a stagger system for the sake of putting one because it's worked really well with Strangers to Paradise. It's worked really well with Remake here. I don't like how they have like some of the abilities showing on the bottom right. Like I think if you can perform some of these abilities, it'll allow you to actually like select them through the ability screen. I think that can be hidden, personally speaking. I don't know how I feel about the damage numbers. I feel like it can kind of do without it.
No, I agree too. Yeah, I feel that's
Yeah.
very distracting.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I think it looks cool in the right way, but if you can execute it properly, it looks really cool. But it feels like with this one, it doesn't really.
I think it's because your thought is because it seems to be straying away a lot from the traditional RPG sense. And then you're so used to character action games where they don't really show that stuff, so it's kind of off-putting to you. I think that's more of the issue.
Yeah, or it's looking kind of like what's that one game? The Dynasty Warrior games. It's almost looking like that. I think they can definitely pull it off if it's something similar to Nier Automata, where they show some of the damage numbers and it's very very minimal. I think that would be really nice. But this one, because there's a lot of things going on in the screen, I feel like damage numbers isn't really necessary. Either because I noticed now like they have the stagger bar like actually showing. I think you should be able to hide that for regular enemies, and just have the damage numbers, or vice versa. You know, hide the damage numbers and keep the stagger bar on. Oh, I think the UI. Sorry, I'm like looking back at the trailer. I think the UI changes. The color changes sometimes because I see in this one it's yellow compared to being green like in the city. So maybe it changes depending on like your environment.
And then, do you know if FF16 is using Unreal, or is it still the Luminous engine?
So I actually don't know because it makes more. It kind of looks like it's using Luminous, honestly.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, because it's very photorealistic.
Yeah, mainly because I feel like if it's Unreal, it would look a lot more. Not necessarily not photorealistic, but it would look a lot more like.
Yeah.
Doll-like.
There's a distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more. Yeah, it will look.
Yeah, it looks more doll-like.
There's like a certain effect with Unreal.
Right.
Yeah.
They both can look like photorealistic, but this looks more like Luminous photorealistic.
Yeah.
Which
right.
that kind of
Right.
So that's kind of a red flag for me. The only good game that Luminous has ever produced was 14, and even then, that's mainly because of Yoshida. Luminous is not. Luminous was okay. So, in hindsight, Luminous is amazing with FF13 because it was being built alongside FF13, from what I heard, and FF13 isn't like. It's not demanding in the gameplay sense, so it can really push the graphics with FF13. Like if you look how it looks now, it still looks amazing, right?
No, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
For the time it came out, yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
But this is a character action game, and that scares me a little bit because, I don't know. Luminous does not have a good track record when it comes to like action stuff.
Because I thought they wouldn't use the party engine for a character action game for Devil May Cry, but I was surprised they handled it very well.
Yeah. So that's why like I would have preferred if they used Unreal for this one. Yeah, I would have preferred if they used Unreal, but I can understand why they're using Luminous, mainly because I feel like FF16 or FF14's team is they're most comfortable with Luminous, and I'm guessing like a lot of people from FF14's division probably came over to this one, so they're a lot more used to the Luminous engine at this point. So it wouldn't make sense to switch over to UE, just because UE is better if you're already used to one engine, unless you're really willing to like switch the development to another. To really push the development, like they don't want to end up like Kingdom Hearts and FF7 remake where they had to push the release date back because the devs had to relearn going from I think it was Luminous all the way to Unreal Engine.
The other thing you have to consider with UE is that it also introduces lag in the gameplay. Yeah, because I think I've heard this during like a podcast when people were talking about fighting games. One of the biggest issues, because the Street Fighter had this issue too. They use Unreal Engine 4, and apparently it also introduced developing under Unreal Engine 4. So don't quote me on this. I believe it introduced some input lag, which is what also created some issues for developing the online aspect of Street Fighter 5.
So maybe UE not the best for online stuff.
Yeah. So I think given the fact that they're very familiar with Luminous at this point, they could maybe handle it, but we only got to see snippets. So until we see like a full segment and maybe a demo, we won't find out until then.
Yeah, I think it's potentially gonna look really.
Yeah,
it's already looking good, like from what we have here.
It looks good. It looks good.
Yeah. I think when it comes to the gameplay, it's looking like it's not completely like character action like DMC. Like it definitely still borrows some sort of like RPG stuff from So it's not. So it's not like FF DMC, but it's still very much like action game.
I'm hoping in terms of diversity, in terms of the combat, they will introduce input delay based attacks, so that it doesn't feel like you just mash or hold down a button like how in FF15 was.
Yeah.
Hopefully with this one has a jump button, so that resolves my issue with that.
Well, we don't know if it has a jump button, but it looks like it's damage.
It does. I look at the X at here. Let me find a timestamp.
I think I just saw one actually. Hold up. Oh yeah, no, it does. I see it now.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, it does have a jump button. Okay.
Yeah.
So
this is definitely more character action.
Yeah.
Maybe not full on character action.
But it's really close to it. It's very, very close to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be a really cool game to make out of this character action type style. The next Nier game, if that ever comes out.
They're done with the story.
I don't know, man. I feel like they could do at least one more game, like one more major game with Nier.
If they are, they're gonna probably do Drakengard, because Nier is a spin-off of Drakengard.
They can be like Drakengard 4, and it like ties up everything. That's what they can do. But I don't know. I really just want another game out of that in that series. Like I think like this type of game would be really beneficial to it, because this almost looks like Nier Replicant in a sense, where you know how like they improved it and the new 1.2 version. This almost looks like it where what's it called? Like you have a lot of enemies around you, and you have like the character action, but it's not full on like DMC or Nier Automata. But it's still very much like an action game, like more so than an RPG, which I think they've already kind of pulled off with the 1.2 version for Replicant, and I think it would really be nice to actually make here. And I don't think it'll be a far off thing, because Yoshida and Yokotaro seem to be I don't want to say they're friends, but they've collaborated in the games in the past, and they've done like interviews. So
far, pretty content with this state of play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect that many bangers from Capcom at first. Shit.
Yeah, I think definitely the 3 or the 4 games that were really,
Yeah.
I guess were really the highlight of this state of play was, you know,
It was
16.
Capcom and Square.
Yeah,
It was just
16.
Capcom and Square. Yeah.
Yeah, 16, Resident Evil, Street Fighter 6,
Or,
and
yeah,
then
it's-
I think for me it's Eternites too. Like that looked really,
Yeah, that was
that looked
was
really
a,
interesting.
That was a nice one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nice one.
yeah, like a dating sim character action. Like, dude, that's exactly what.
Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, oh, you're buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying that shit. Well, like day one, I'm pre-ordering like
Yeah.
the deluxe edition. I don't care if it's bad. I'm like just buying it
Yeah.
day one. But yeah, 16. Excited to play it.